Moicano is money. We're back, and we got to talk about my boy. Listen, he did everything right. He went in there. He worked off his jab. He said, yo, Chris Duncan, he used to be my sparring partner. We used to do a lot of work together. Well, you could tell because every leg kick, he was checking it. He was looking like prime Aldo the way he was checking kicks. And then the way his jab was firing, everything was on point. And I feel like Moicano getting in a spot like this where everybody complained about the card, so even the eyes that were on it were more so on it to see if it's really as bad as people thought, or they're just hardcore fans, or trying to gain, their understanding of the sport. Peep this though, he went for position, and when they go down, you can hold R2, L2, and flick down when they go for position for mount, and it puts you in Von Flu. Everybody has that, so that's a slick move for my bag that I like to use. Obviously, using Moicano, slick way to get a submission, and that works here. So, back to what I was saying about the fight night. Listen, he went in there, proved he's still an elite guy. He's at the upper echelon, and when I say that, I know people be like, he's not top 5, but like in the grand scheme of things, out of all the martial artists in the world, at lightweight, you're number 10, which he might move up a few spots. He might be like, what, 7 to 8 range now? Or they just protect his spot at 10, I don't know. But you're a top 10 fighter in your division in the best organization in the world. Now, right here, look at this. The guy starts bobbleheading, right? And we just start trying to pick him apart with the jab. Moicano's jab, his straight, and his lead hook were all, like, great, as well as his leg kick defense. And it just led to a bunch of fight finishing in against Chris Duncan. Like, I don't know what to say. He was locked in. He was very locked in. He looked skillful, and it showed. But we're going to the next fight.
You ready to fight?
Now, back to my standpoint of what I was trying to get to. I think Moicano is elite. I've always thought he was an elite guy, but I just thought he wasn't a champ guy. But I thought he was one of those, if you put him in there, he's been around enough, he has a good skill set, he could find a way to win a fight against everybody. And I think, especially at MMA, a good jab is not, I'm going to sound like DC here, but a good jab is just something to awe at. I watched Ilya use his jab to set up a bunch of his footwork to crowd you. I watched Max Holloway had a good jab to set up his volume. Moicano's jab disrupts people's pace, and then he puts a little leg kick on it, and the next thing you know, he finds a way to change the level to get to the takedown, and you're like, what the hell happened? So, it's a great basis it's a great base for your striking. If you have a really good jab, you can get to a lot of places. And even, Islam developed the jab, a 1-2 of sorts. Same thing with Kamaru Usman. They developed that, changed the whole game, made their grappling easier, because now people have to respect you on the feet. Because a jab is just a rhythm disruptor. And if you can't get your rhythm and you can't start your game, you're going to lose the fight. So, again, Moicano just has a very good skill set. He finds a way to get to that, get to his submissions. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Charles has it now, but I know at some point Moicano had the most rear naked chokes in the UFC. I don't know if after last night he has it, but he's up there. He's one of those guys. You got to respect his grappling. He's found a way to turn his ground and pound into something to fear, so you have to respect the jab, the leg kick, the grappling, the ground and pound, the submissions. He's got a really good skill set. And it showed last night. Or, not last night, but last weekend in the fight night. So, I really am just proud. I like where he is. I think it's cool that he's finally getting a fan base and a charge behind him. And it's just fun to see. Watch somebody, for as long as I've been watching. He's been around, and now he's built his audience.
You ready to fight?
And then he gave, the craziest, as we go into another fight, he gave the craziest speech on what is the weekend of Easter. Man just went in there and start saying the fans don't matter, nothing matters, but Jesus Christ matters. Hey, it is what it is, but he was dropping F-bombs. It was entertaining. And that's his thing. He's entertaining, and he's one of my guys. So, very happy to see him win. Very happy to see him keep his spot. And nothing on Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan tried his best. He went out there, but he's the type of guy that gets beat up to get to his offense. And when you get beat up to get to your offense, I feel like once you reach that upper echelon of guy, And by that, I don't mean Ilya or a Volk or, you know, like the top. Like you don't have to be a welterweight. And when I say upper echelon, I mean you're fighting JDM. But when you reach them ranked guys, after fighting unranked to borderline 15 guy, it's a little different once you reach that top 10. And once you reach that top 5, if you establish yourself there, you're really there. So I say all that to say, good win for Moicano. And this week, if you're watching this like actively when it's posted the week of, we get Yuri. So I know everybody's hoping Yuri wins as I get clipped by a right hook. But, you know, it is what it is. That video will be coming this week too. So here, right, we got Ilya. Main thing everybody does with Ilya, they try to pressure you. But it's not always smart pressure. Like, they try to just run you down. Problem with this game is move levels carry you really, really far. If counters were better, which, again, not trying to just be negative about the game. I am ready for 6. I'm not playing this game every day as this guy taunts me for no reason. But when you make counters better, you make more picks viable, and you make using lesser picks, which they used to incentivize you to do in like UFC 3. They used to have lower picks give you way more points, and you got bonus points if you use like featured fighters of the day. It was a nice game, but when counters matter more, it slows down the striking, like amongst better players. And better players doesn't always mean elite players. I just mean not that casual, pick up the game, play with your friends, and like throw nothing but haymakers, hooks, and stuff. But once you start thinking about your striking, if you make counters respectable, you're not going to get people throwing 200 strikes in a round like we have on this game, because they're going to be like, oh, if he pulls my hook and I get hit with an uppercut or I get hit with a 3-piece to the body, it's going to always be a rock. It's going to always be a stun. And that's kind of, as I stun him, but that's kind of the insight and thought I want put into 6, which is if you're going to make striking the focus or grappling focus, whatever you want it to be, if the meta of the game has to be more towards a more thought out striking, because every fight starts on the feet, and most people like to strike more than they like to, more than they like to grapple. So you got to play to that to make money. I understand that, but if you're gonna do that, you have to be very thoughtful of how you do it. Don't just go all in on one direction. That's going to be an unbalanced game. Don't just completely go to the casual. That's what UFC 4 was. And we got mini games that were so easy that if you knew how to do it, you didn't lose. And the casuals gamer didn't have fun if people got them in a submission. It's a balance. It's a delicate balance. But I said that to say, if they figure it out, we'll have a fun game and more content. More content for the channel. More people will be in the community. There will be growth. Maybe one day this community will be as big. Because I won't say a 2K or a Madden, because in America, like basketball and football, they're higher. But as the UFC is growing, if we could get to how people fiend for a boxing game to where they just want to play with their friends and all that, where Undisputed tried to jump in that window, but they had very good footwork. They had very good movement tech, but the game wasn't polished enough on the striking. If you give me a game that has respectable movement where footwork matters and you can strike and you can grapple, and I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm just saying those things work well individually or all together. I guess it would have to be all together, you know what I mean? But they all work. You'll have one of the better MMA games just off those principles alone, and that's more so what we're looking for. And if we can get that finally, because I say this all the time, people lose hope in franchises. Even if you don't like franchises like 2K. 2K, let's say they had hits as he walks onto a 1-2. He just ran onto a 1-2. But if you 2K had like 2K11, first big undoubtable hit. 2K16, 17, they were like their golden era. Eventually, if you make enough games, you're gonna have hits. And I say this to say, their last hit was like 3. It's been a few games. They wrinkled some things out. 6 could be that next one. And I'm really hoping it is. But as you see, that's pretty much my thought on it. That's the Moicano showcase. And yeah, like, subscribe, share the video. And I'll be back. So, I'm out. Peace.